Being here in this extraordinary camp, sleeping in a tent under the trees and the stars every night, hearing the animals crushing the leaves underfoot when they go by. It's one of the most incredible places I've ever been, maybe the most incredible place I've ever been. It's utterly peaceful, totally silent except for the lions roaring and the hyenas and the elephants. And every day is a new adventure. Every day is something different. Every day is something magical and something wonderful happens. It's just incredible. I love it here. I'm Martha Plimpton. I'm from New York City. So earlier this year, I had come to South Africa for a friend's wedding and decided to, sort of take a safari and bring my mother as a gift. And we did. We went on a few safaris, and it was obviously absolutely incredible experience. And I knew I wanted to come back as quickly as I could. And a couple of our guides mentioned to me this place, EcoTraining, where I could actually take it more seriously and, gain more knowledge and be in closer proximity, if I wanted to nature and possibly to the animals. And I could sort of pursue what I've found to be a sort of a new interest and discipline in my life that I didn't know I was seeking, but I found it. The first course I wanted to take was the EcoTracking course. I really wanted to be on the ground, and I really wanted to study the tracks and the behaviors of animals and understand their comings and goings and why they do what they do and when they do what they do and how they interact with the world around them and other creatures around them. And so that's what I decided to study when I came here. I've learned that it's very much about having trust in yourself, having trust in your own instincts, having trust in your initial impressions of things, and allowing the information that you already have to just kind of flow through you. I've learned very much that just as in the rest of our lives, very often we know more in our hearts, in our bodies, in our guts, than we give ourselves credit for. We overthink things, we doubt ourselves. We know we want to go left, but for some reason we say, no, go right. And we slow ourselves down in this way. This is a place in which you really learn to place yourself within the world and recognize yourself as being of it and from it and part of it. Oh, there's been so many highlights. Certainly one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life was when Norman and our group trailed a male lion. We had heard him roaring in the night and in the early morning. I was sleeping here in my tent and I heard this lion roaring. It was just, the goosebumps. We went on foot and we tracked and trailed a lion. We followed his footsteps to where he was, and we found him sleeping, napping in the shade of a big, I think it was a big mustard bush or something. And we saw him from about, I want to say, initially maybe 40 meters away, something like that. Big guy. It was just extraordinary. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I love city life. I love where I live. I love my life. I love my job. I love everything about it. But I also really, really need to be in close contact with the natural world. It just gives me a real sense of place and belonging. And also, there's a lot about tracking and the study of tracking that isn't too different from what I do for a living, which is acting. They're both essentially the examination of behavior and the developing deeper understandings of why people, animals, the natural world do the things they do, how they do the things they do, the different ways they do the things they do. So in that sense, I feel like I'm maybe enhancing or enriching what I do in my work with this experience, because I'm adding another level of the discipline and because it is a discipline. It's not just a hobby. It's not just something fun to do on your time off. It's really a way to get inside understanding the way things work. And that's basically what I do in terms of, people and telling stories and dramas, people's responses to one another. So yeah.